So welcome back, traders, to the Forex Zone in here, where we're going to take a look at the major Forex currency pairs in here. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, please do hit that like button and follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So we're going to kick off in here, first of all, for the euro versus the dollar, EURUSD. And we saw this plunge in here. This is all part of the US dollar strength that we saw late February, early March. It took us down through this 120.21 level in here, shifting the intermediate term outlook to more bearish, also wiping out these trend line supports in here. So the bigger picture outlook going into March now more negative. Now early March has seen a rebound in here up to 121.13. Market capped though recently by 121.41 and setting back from 121.13. That sees the risk to the downside in the very short term to these supports here, down to 120.41.33 and 119.90 and potentially to 119.51 into March. So really this has been driven by a more positive dollar tone, as there's some wobbles in the global financial markets in here. Equity markets are concerned about inflationary pressures and higher yield pressures. Let's move on now and take a look at the pound versus the US dollar cable. And cable being really a really super strong currency throughout February, taking us up to multi-year highs here at 142.40. But we had a significant setback from there into latter February. And then again, this late February plunge lower in here, taking us down close to this key support at 138.29. Now the market has bounced from just above there at 138.39, but capped off more recently in here by resistance at 140.06. Just put that decimal point in there. And then the market in here retracing back from there. So we're looking for a potential push back down to challenge this critical 138.29 point level in here as we go through into the early part of March. Let's take a look at the Antipodean currencies. Now, despite the more recent recovery effort in here, the Australian versus US dollar has rebounded for early March, but only after this aggressive plunge lower, again from a multi-year high in here, 80.07, taking out the psychological 80 level, and then again, dollar strength coming through as we kind of shifted towards a risk-off theme. The market wiping out these trend line supports and also this critical 77.21 level, this swing low in here. That's enough to shift the intermediate term outlook to more bearish, and despite the rebound, you can see the market rolling back low in here from this 78.38.45 resistance below critical 78.71, and whilst below 78.71 we're looking for bigger picture bearish pressure short term down to these targets in here with the 77 big figure, but looking for a push back down through 76.18 into March and for a deeper correction. Similar story for the Kiwi dollar in here, big sell off in here down through this trend line support, shifting the intermediate term outlook to more bearish, and then just holding above this trend line that comes from the early part of the year from late January. So just holding that trend line and rebounding, but again capped by resistance here, 73.26, 73.07, negative pressures intact and looking for a push down lower through these recent supports, 72.35, 72.07, but more likely down for these supports here, 71.55 and 71.02. Going to take a look finally in here on the risk currency side at the Canadian dollar, and then we'll move on to dollar yen. So dollar CAD in here, again, dollar strength late February, boom, up through this trend line. This trend line comes all the way from March 2020. If I zoom all the way out to a weekly chart in here, you can see it comes all the way from March 2020. Actually, maybe just go to the daily chart, see it better there. Look, all the way from March 2020, this trend line. And zooming back in, you see we probed above that, having repeatedly tried to get above it and not managed. A better push above that in late February. Then we have retraced, but we're holding above this 128.53 level. And whilst, sorry, 125.83. And whilst holding 125.83, we just rebounded from there. We're looking for further upside pressures to come back through, for dollar strengths to come back through. Finally, we'll take a look at dollar yen. We're going to look at the daily chart for dollar yen, and we've had this really just steady recovery right from the beginning of the year. This underlines the theme of dollar strength in here. We think is starting to come back into the broader market across those majors we've just looked at. Dollar yen higher and then swing low, higher swing low, higher swing low, and then new highs in here through late February, early March in here. It's rallying up ahead of this trend line support that comes right from the very beginning of the year, and dollar yen really epitomising the underlying theme of dollar strengthening, and we're looking for that to continue higher, taking out resistances in here that we have going back 106.95 and 107.02 back from August last year, and we're looking for a still better push higher towards 108, 109, 110, all these resistances up here as we go through into March. So again, this has been Steve Miley for FX Explained, the market chartist. And yeah, just do continue to follow our videos in here. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe and have a great trading day. So traders, don't forget to catch us again on the Forex Zone, and also check out all the great content on fxexplain.co.uk.